Hey everyone, this is Sam again out here at New Branch Farms. Today we have Emily Connor, and believe it or not, it's Emily Connor Photography. So Emily, tell us about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Emily Connor, and I have been married to my husband for almost 9 years now, and we have 2 children, Gavin and Ava, and they are fun and rambunctious, and they keep us busy. And I have been in business for almost 4 years now, and I grew my love of photography from my mother, who was constantly taking pictures of us as kids, and I was always the one who was jumping in the background going, geez. I was always the photo bomber of the family. And I actually started out my business taking just family pictures, and a friend of mine invited me to come with her to a wedding, and I told her, I was like, I'm not going to bring my camera, I just want to come check it out. And thankfully she did push me and told me to bring my camera. And within maybe an hour of being there, it was one of those things where I just instantly knew that God was telling me, this is what you're supposed to do. I connected with the couple, and just knowing that you're there to serve them on their days, they share their vows and, you know, vow to love each other forever. It's just something that I love and I will never take for granted.
It is neat to be a part
of
somebody's special day.
Oh yeah. And to know that they trust you with that job is just amazing.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what services and products do you offer?
So I actually offer my couples 3 different packages, and they range from 4 to 8 hours. With everything going on, I wanted to toss in an elopement package for people who don't necessarily need like the full wedding day experience. So that's what the 4-hour one is. And then each one has its own like additional perks. Some of those might be a second shooter, a signature wedding album, and then I also offer an online gallery with access to a professional print lab so that they can print their portraits. And another thing that I enjoy offering is a mobile gallery app. So they actually have their entire gallery on their phone, and they can share it, they can order prints from there, and it's just easy access for them. And then another thing that I do is offer complimentary engagement sessions. This is a great way for us to get to know each other better, and they can go ahead and see my shooting style and things like that. That way when the wedding day comes, it's game day, they know what to expect, and we're ready to go.
And they're super comfortable
exactly.
by then.
Yep. And that's the main thing, is that they're comfortable with me. And because if you're not comfortable with your photographer, then it's definitely going to show. And those first couple of minutes anyway are the most awkward. So if we go ahead and get that out of the way with the engagement session, then come wedding day, they're already comfortable and ready and good to go.
That makes really good sense.
Yeah.
Share a specific product or service that you love to providing your couples, and why.
Something that I actually just started offering, I started it last year, is a same-day slideshow. And that's something that I do for couples. So what I'll do is, like say during the dinner portion of the reception, I'll go, and while I'm eating my dinner, I'll upload some of the cards that I have and some of the images, and I'll edit some of them, like say maybe 15 to 20 images, and I will put it in slideshow form. And during the reception, I'll go and show it to the couple, like on my laptop, and they can go through and see some of what their day has already been like. And then I display it during the reception for like their parents and their family and their guests to view during the reception.
And is there anything that you like to do that maybe they haven't thought of, or specialty things?
I'm actually working on a bridal guide to give to my brides beforehand, like before the wedding day. I'm like maybe 75% done with it, but then it'll be something that I'll give to my brides, and it has information for everything. Like it's 70-something pages big, and it's a magazine that they can look through, and it has information such as like options for timelines. It has wedding day details that you don't want to forget, like shoes, veil, rings, invitation, things like that, and then some tips on how to prepare your groom for the wedding day.
So just all the stuff you've accumulated
Basically,
over
yep.
the years doing weddings to help out.
Yep, an entire book of helpful tips and information.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're finding out too is that they need all the help they can get sometimes.
Exactly. I know, it's like you get engaged and then it's like, okay, where do we start? What do we do? There's so many things that go into it.
Right. Yeah. So what's the process? What is your process? What can the couples expect when they get with you?
So I usually have my couples, they can always begin by inquiring with me through my website. And I have a little contact form at the bottom of the page, and they can just fill out their name, information, their wedding date, and things like that. And then within 24 hours, I email them and let them know if I'm available for that date. And if not, then I go ahead and email them and let them know. And I'll usually send in like a couple of different photographers that I've worked with before, so I'm not like leaving them hanging. And then if I am available, then I go ahead and send them my wedding packages. And through that, they can also go ahead and book their consultation. And then we'll just meet, have some coffee, chat, and I'll get to know them and how their wedding planning's going, and things like that. And yeah, see if we're a good fit and begin our process.
And you've kind of already touched on this about when you do meet with them, what questions should they be prepared to answer?
Some of the questions that I enjoy asking, mainly I just want to get to know them. So like how they met, what their love story is, the proposal story. I love hearing all the proposals because they're all different. And one of the main questions that I like to ask is whether or not they plan on doing a first look, because usually immediately after our consultation, I'll go ahead and send them 2 sample timelines, one with and one without a first look, because that's one of those things that can greatly influence how the timeline of the day will go. And so I'll go ahead and give them pros and cons of each. There's some people who are very traditional and don't want to sway from that, and that's perfectly fine. I don't ever want to push anyone. But yeah, I just want to help them and figure out how I can serve them best in that area.
Awesome. Your style of photography and why you love it.
Okay, so this is a great question because there are so many different styles of photography, which is why the industry is so great and gives people tons of options. I would describe mine as kind of light and airy and elegant. So I like to find bright locations for my pictures, and I like for my couples to have clean light on them and beautiful expressions. So also during my session, I incorporate both poses and prompts. I don't want to ever force someone into a pose, so I'll just loosely suggest that they get in a certain position. But then when they're in that position, I make sure that they're flattering and everything like that. And then what I do is I'll give them a prompt so that everyone has like those genuine smiles and authentic reactions.
Throw something at them. That type of thing.
Exactly. And one of my favorite ones to do is I'll usually tell like the groom or somebody to like whisper in her ear what you had for breakfast in your best British accent. Because everybody always has a fun accent. And I actually had one guy, it was the funniest thing. He was like, "Is it okay if I do Chinese?" And I was like, "Sure, if you know Chinese." It's like, go for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like,
can you imagine that getting in your ear?
I know, exactly.
You know?
I was like, most guys are confused. They're like, "Oh, I didn't have anything for breakfast." And this guy comes out with, "Is it okay if I do Chinese?"
That is definitely different.
Yeah, I was like, go for it.
What is your best professional advice for couples looking to choose a photographer? And I think you already touched on it a lot about looking and styles and all that.
Yes. So a couple of my suggestions would be to definitely know what their style is, because there are so many different styles and you want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting. And then one of my biggest suggestions would be to trust your photographer, because your photographer may tell you to come into this specific spot and say, "Hey, we've got like 5-10 minutes, let's just come over here to this spot and take some quick pictures." To you, it may look grungy and horrible and things like that, but to your photographer, it could be like the holy grail of light, and you have only 5 minutes to do it. So yeah, I would say just make sure you trust them and have a genuine connection, because your photographer is one of those vendors who you're going to be with a good portion of the day, and you're actually going to be with your photographer more than your significant other if you think about it, because the photographer is there at the beginning of the day all the way to the end. So
and up in your grill
exactly.
a lot.
So you want to make sure that y'all are real comfortable and real tight, and someone that you know is going to be your advocate and who is going to listen to your needs and exactly what you're looking for on the wedding day.
Okay, cool. What advice do you have for couples preparing for the wedding day photos?
I would say to plan ahead of time, to try and relax, and again, to just trust your photographer. So I actually work hard to help my couples prepare for the wedding day. I send out a questionnaire a couple months beforehand, and it goes ahead and lets them know, kind of like a questionnaire as to what are your details going to be, what family members are we going to have there, because after the ceremony we usually go ahead and do family formals, and if we already have all of the lists of everybody out, then I can get family formals done in about 30 minutes, rather than scrambling like, oh, where's Aunt Susie and where's Uncle Joe, and trying to corral everyone.
Because it always seems to be that way.
Exactly. So I do my best to make sure that everything is planned out ahead of time. We have a plan of attack for details, family formals, everything. So I actually go ahead and help my couples prepare for portraits. And then again, like I said, the engagement session, when time comes for the bride and groom portraits, they know what to expect. They're ready to go.
So they already know what poses. When you say something,
exactly.
They already understand.
You remember that one that we did? Let me see y'all in prom pose.
Yeah.
They know exactly what to do.
What is this? That's cool. I'm going to turn the tide on you a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to make this about New Branch Farms.
Okay.
So what would it mean to you to be a preferred vendor out here at New Branch Farms?
So I think that would be an amazing thing, because I was actually out here at a previous wedding.
Oh, our first wedding.
That's
you
right.
did our first wedding.
That's
okay.
Right. And you looked a little
Oh,
different.
this wasn't all here, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Well, I have decided not to cut my hair or my beard, and we've done a few Facebook things until I get a building permit for that.
Oh.
So that's why all this craziness is going on.
Okay.
So.
Nice. All right. Well, it works for you.
Well, thank you. If you like the Grizzly Adams type of thing, yes. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, when I was out here at the wedding before, I was just amazed at how accommodating y'all were to not only the bride and the groom, but to the wedding party, the family, and the vendors. Y'all made it feel like family, and I think that when all of the vendors are able to feel like that and they're able to work together, it's just everything's in sync, and it makes everything less stressful for the bride and groom, and they're able to just fully enjoy their wedding day.
Yeah, instead of trying to do their wedding day.
Exactly, and try to worry about, well, is this going on? Is this going on? They know that everyone's just working together and doing it, collectively.
Okay. Well, you hit it on the head for us, is we do want that feeling of family, because it does make things easier.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Emily, thanks again for coming out today and doing this interview. It was informative. We got to learn a little bit about you, and we really hope that everything goes well with all this craziness that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And we would love to have you as a preferred vendor out here at New Branch
I would love
Farms.
that.
Everyone, see you.